And joining me now is Dionne of Stanford University. Good to see you. Of course, you have an interesting topic, your talk, the light stuff, enabling sustainable product-selective photocatalysts with Plasmonics.
Yeah,
okay.
kind of a mouthful.
Yeah, tell us what it's about exactly. And I know you talk about in your paper about chemical manufacturing really being a burden in terms of pollution and energy. How is this research important and impacting chemical manufacturing?
Yeah, great question. Well, if you think about many of the products we enjoy, upwards of 80% of all of the products we use come from a catalyst. So catalysts are usually small metallic nanoparticles that, expedite reactions and give rise to many of like the fertilizers, the pharmaceuticals, the fibers, like the plastics, the clothes, the cosmetics that we use. And yet many of these catalysts can only operate at high temperatures. So you basically need to elevate the temperature in order to be able to expedite the reaction and get the products that you want. And those temperatures, of course, come with substantial amounts of greenhouse gas emissions and CO2 that's generated. And in addition, like when you're using heat, it's almost like a chemical sledgehammer. So you're indiscriminately attacking like all of the bonds that you would want to break. So you're usually getting kind of a potpourri of different products. So today what I'll be sharing with you is our work to develop new metal nanoparticle catalysts that use light instead of heat to be able to selectively target specific bonds. So that way you can get not only a lot of the product that you want, but also enable kind of specific reactions to occur. So you're targeting specific bonds that you're breaking and forming. So that way you're, first of all, reducing greenhouse gas emissions, but then also getting more selectivity in your reaction.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. It's such a lot of advances and discoveries in this particular field. What do you think you are going to be focusing on in the future in this particular field?
Yeah, well, one of the cool things in the field is that when you're using light as opposed to heat, you're not in thermal equilibrium. You're actually out of equilibrium, and that opens up entirely new reaction pathways that aren't possible with just normal, like conventional thermal catalysis. So I think what we'll be focusing on, in the future is opening up new reaction pathways and reactions like carbon dioxide, reduction. I think, sequestration and storage of CO2 are going to be critical for, humanity's like surviving and thriving in the future. We're also excited to tackle problems like steel manufacturing. Steel manufacturing produces something like 8% of global CO2 emissions, so kind of critical construction materials. And then kind of moving beyond some of the more basic reactions my lab has done to things like plastics upcycling. So how you can create the circular materials economy rather than just putting plastics into landfill, actually upcycling them or kind of recycling them to enable the circular materials economy.
Yeah, a lot of applications. I know you're
definitely.
actually part of a new startup.
That's right.
Yeah, tell us about that venture.
Oh man, it's been so fun. So we incorporated our company, which is still in stealth mode, late last year. And we're able to acquire space earlier this year. We're venture backed. So if anyone wants to ask any questions about how to go after VC funding, happy to help. Kind of my lab's research at Stanford has broadly focused on this field of nanophotonics, how you can control light at the nano and molecular scale. And kind of the catchphrase for the company is enabling life speed reads of biological bits, which is a bit of a mouthful, but if you think about it, basically a snowflake size of biological material has over an exabyte of data. Like that is more data than like Google, Facebook or Meta, Amazon, Microsoft combined. And yet, like our ability to read these biological bits, whether it's nucleic acids or proteins or metabolites, is really slow. So there's so much data, that can tell us the secrets, of life and how we're operating and our health and transitions from wellness. And yet we're not able to unlock that potential because we have no good way of quickly reading out these biological bits like nucleic acids or proteins or metabolites. So the startup is kind of taking a lot of the insights that my lab has kind of pioneered in kind of directing molecules, but instead using them to kind of sense molecules and enable like faster reads of these biological bits.
Wow, that's super interesting. We're looking forward to seeing what comes out of that startup.
Thanks.
Congratulations on that.
It's been a great learning experience.
Yeah, and I'm sure people can contact you directly if they have advice. If you have great advice, I'm sure.
Yeah, totally.
On starting up businesses based on their work. So thank you so much.
Yeah,
Jennifer,
thank
appreciate
you.
you coming on with us.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure chatting with you.